Hi everyone, Dr. Nemechek here. I want to go over a case where that illustrates how the dosing of rifaximin is so critical. Okay, the timing and the consistency that you need to do. Okay, so neurologically, adults and children are having trouble either recovering from injuries or having their nervous system develop correctly, and more evidence is building that this is in large part due to the inflammatory stress from bacterial overgrowth, or what's called SIBO. So here is just a quick review. You have stomach, small intestine, large intestine. You have certain species of bacteria live in the small intestine. Some live in, different ones live in the large intestine. And when you have SIBO, it's S-I-B-O, small intestine bacterial overgrowth. And basically, these are not foreign bacteria. These are normal bacteria living in the wrong place. It's an organizational problem. Of the 1,000 or so species here, you have one, sometimes two species living up here. High concentrations now, much higher than normal, and the small intestine is not able to handle that. And you literally get leaky gut and a rather massive level of inflammatory stress that prevents the brain from naturally repairing itself, from rejuvenating itself. But in the small children, it prevents the brain from pruning. Okay, that ends up with developmental delay, and in kids with autism, we believe that these bacteria are producing propionic acid that has this like drug-like effect on children, and also may possibly even be giving them a chemical brain injury. Okay, you got to fix this or nobody gets better. Okay, so I should also add, we've known about this for a long time. This is first discovered in the 60s. This is very important in a variety of situations in adult medicine, but if you're, for instance, somebody with advanced liver disease and this develops, you often develop these massive levels of ammonia in your bloodstream that can damage your central nervous system. And rifaximin, for instance, has been used successfully to control this for probably upwards of 20 years. So there's a lot of background and science here. Most doctors just are not aware of this because those patients are managed often at like a liver transplant program, okay, not in a general private practice. So this case, we have a 5-year-old boy who is gonna, in February 2020, starts protocol. And the little kids generally do real well, just inulin to help balance the gut, plus fish oil and olive oil. He's having a broad level of improvement, except the speech doesn't seem to be improving. They come and see me. So, aggression was better, less intense, comprehension, seeking out, playing with, parents and sisters, so socialization's coming along, just no gains in speech. So we had the vagus nerve stimulator, the Vitality Smart Cord, which can help further reduce inflammation in the brain. Now, things were going pretty well. As you notice, there's about a 3-year gap here, and this is not unusual. So things are going along, and about 8 months, so roughly the beginning of 2024, the winter there, parents since that time, there's a plateau. And what that means is all these gains that you're seeing, if you put them on a chart and they're better, they kind of stop and they flatten off if you're charting your improvements. After discussing that with them, he and the whole family had contracted COVID at the beginning of that. And if you have seen in my other videos, COVID can cause long COVID, so there's long-term neurological problems in adults, and the same thing's happening in kids, okay? And so what we needed to do here is, instead of inulin, we bumped him up to the rifaximin antibiotic to balance the bacterial part of this issue, and then we gave him a twice-daily amino acid glutamine to help in case he also had COVID leaky gut. So here we are about 4 or 5 months later. He's regimen, he's on rifaximin, fish oil, olive oil, and a vagal stimulator. He had completed 6 weeks of the glutamine. Nothing's better. by the parents. Actually, aggression is worsening, constipation is worsening. But I find out he's not getting the Miralax anymore. They finally tell me, well, the VNS was broken a year ago, and since November, they were only giving the rifaximin once a day. It is a twice-a-day drug at a minimum, okay? No exceptions to that. And in the last month, he wasn't getting anything, okay? And so, we just kind of had the come to Jesus meeting. I can't help you if you can't carry out what I instruct. And not to be, it's kind of like a sports team where I'm just the coach on the sidelines and I call the play, and you got to kind of, run the ball and run the play. So parents just kind of promise they're going to redouble their effort. So I see him back in July. He's consistently getting the rifaximin twice a day. They were like, they hadn't missed a single dose. He'd gotten the VNS repaired, and he was getting that 5 minutes a day. The aggression has completely resolved. Comprehension's improving. I didn't put here, constipation was greatly improved. For the first time ever, fully potty trained, able to follow some receptive language, 2-3-step commands very consistently. Now, in terms of speech, where we just had kind of single words here or there, within just 4 months, he's starting to put together 4 to 5 word sentences, and on occasion is now asking questions and also able to identify people by name. Okay? Huge improvement, but you got to be consistent. If we're missing doses of either the inulin or the rifaximin, these bacteria, they grow fast. They replicate every 5 to 7 minutes, and they can start coming back. And so you can never get this inflammation in the brain to drop to its lowest point on the regimen, okay? So, and I've said this several times, like, we are just trying to make next week better for your child, or to get him to just behave a little bit better. We have an opportunity to help these kids become neurotypical or near neurotypical. And we're going to change the next 70, 80 years of their life. That's what this is about. And it's much easier to do when you're 5 than when you're 15, or when the child's 5 instead of 15. Okay? So just get on it, stay on it, don't miss a dose, and you'll see some really, really positive responses. So good luck, everybody, and see you next weekend.